I think people think you're soft because you're not one.
I get abused all the time.
Yeah.
Even about football. The GM Fest, I was playing for joining Masters. Bola I hit that siding. Some lady say, but Dipsy bras. That's the kind of abuse that we live with.
Every time we have these conversations, Socks always pops up in my head when Socks Molanta, when he was doing his campaign for public office. The first time that he tried to do it. And it was like, they made him a laughingstock. You know what I mean? And when you think about what this dude, the moments that this dude gave us in us as a collective, as a whole country, what he was able to do inside that national stadium reverberated all the way to the upper hills of Botswana, all across Botswana, across the world. And this is how we repay a person like that. We're seeing Bo, Limco, they have these courses, and we have street dudes. You know what I mean? Are we living in separate worlds here? And also, I think maybe because I never know who to ask these questions. And then we have government departments that have people who do events themselves too. What are we doing? Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to it, man. Another edition of the PODI-CAST. A special shout out going out to our hosts right here in Stay Well Hotels in Gaborone, Mogoditani to be exact. Come out here, guys, all right? There's a reason we do this show here all the time. These are amazing rooms and for affordable prices as well. Got a nice bar, got a nice place where you can hang out with your friends when they visit you. But yeah, if they want to hang out longer, they better get themselves some rooms too, okay? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Shout out to Local Corner. These are the guys who power the show. I'm SCAR. And today on the show, the guy doesn't need any introduction. Too many accolades to mention, all right? In the house, Diphetogo Selolwane. Welcome, King.
What's up, brother?
When was the last time someone called you Diphetogo?
Every day at my house.
Okay, yeah, I think I know. She calls you that, huh?
Yeah.
So you that's the only person I know who calls you Diphetogo. I haven't heard anyone else.
Or my mom, if I'm
in your
trouble.
Mom, yeah.
If I'm in trouble.
It's always the case. But thank you so much, big homie, for coming through.
No, thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, I've been thinking you were out of the country because like when you put up on your posts, it's like you're traveling a lot. Post your career, you didn't bat an eye. So what's going on right now? Where are you coming? When are you jetting in from?
I recently went to Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
I went with the minister and the bid committee for Bona 2027.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my latest trip. But the hell a good thing, working on my academy. With COVID, it kind of killed everything to sport.
Okay.
You remember we were on lockdown for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I had to start all over again, find a new venue. So that's what I'm busy with right now.
No doubt. I guess maybe Rokapile Sentor will let's go on 2027. Are we gonna get though? How do you feel? You're on these trips, dog. Like I'm seeing
just one.
I don't know. Like, okay, so these stadiums, is this a reality? Are we really gonna build stadiums? So, how do you feel about
the long and
this?
short about it is this. For me personally, as a Motswana, like I say, Dipsy.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I've traveled the world and I've always been jealous for it. After you've traveled, you want that experience to bring it back home, to share it with Batswana.
Yeah.
And I think this would be a great excuse for the country to allocate budget to fast process a lot of things that have been clogged up.
NDP 10. NDP, man. So everything is always about a national development plan.
Yeah.
So that's why we never get stuff. And this is the so to get things like this to happen, all hands are on deck. So as former athletes, you actually, you think this is something we should be getting into for sure?
I believe everybody should be rallying behind it.
Yeah.
Looking at the fact that the infrastructure is is going to be built. The roads, telecommunication, marketing, gigs, TV, the Podicast will be there. So, no, you have to look at it like that.
I feel you for real.
The problem is that we always look at sport as just sport.
Yeah,
But there are so many other things that we need to really look into. As a business, we've been talking about commercializing sport, but where do we start? This could be the start. This could be the real start where government injects more than normal into sports.
Definitely. And I think that's also what the minister always preaches. I mean, he's an avid sports person, and they always talk about the residual, economy around the sports. Like another person, Sabelo Mudibe, who usually talks about event managers could get involved in like our league in some way or the other, because like halftime shows really could go a long way.
Very true.
So
this is
why I bring him up. So you and him, I mean, you guys are actually vouching for the same type of things, but differently. I mean, sports and entertainment sometimes find themselves at loggerheads because we are under the same ministry.
Yeah.
So, do you see a way out for all of us to actually, win?
There's only one way, because we are not in competition. I'm not competing with Sabelo. You understand? I am me, I'm there. He's Sabelo there. But us coming together, we're bigger than us in our own little spaces.
Definitely.
You understand? So sports needs entertainment. When you think of a football match, how go kwa kanya le bale le dipale le ball le bo referee here. What are the fans going to be eating? How are you entertaining them? Are they safe? Those kind of things. So it's the whole experience. So if we start looking at sport like that, maybe then
Hey, Tamiko. Yeah. I want to start from the beginning. Lyle, or you guys log heads so much. You have so much in common with Bizo in that he went to Bentema Primary School as well. You want to tell us a little bit about
the greatest school ever?
Man. Come on, man. Yeah, alumni. Why eat? So, like, how growing up in Gaborone, how did going to Bentema shape the player that you are? Because like I think we'll get straight into the sports element. A lot of people came from the neighborhood you grew up in, and also you live like right down the street from the school.
Yeah.
Hey, so how did that influence your upbringing and also your love for the game?
I mean, my greatest influence would be my mother.
Hey.
I remember as a kid, my earliest memories that game. She would record the game with Abu Moraka Swallows.
Yeah.
So I know all the history about Botswana football. It was said every other minute. So there was no way I could avoid it. Some of the legends at the time would come visit Kolaping. My late uncle Mutusi now support Black Pirel.
Okay.
And it was the 8 team at some time in history.
There's still some people who love Black Pirel so much.
Yes. So Likita Black Pirel. So you can imagine. All I've ever known and seen is football. So there was no way I could avoid it, even if I wanted to.
A lot of us, I guess, missed out on a lot of that because there's not a lot of documented history about our football. How do you think we can bridge that grip? I mean, that bridge. So it's a history because, like you're saying, you had someone who was helping you at least, take it. And lady for sure, you're gonna see it. You know what I mean?
I'll not chance.
Hey, so what do you think? How can we bridge the gap?
I think we should start with document, and I think the guys, to the team. This is an opportunity. You could document Botswana football history. Interview people from back then. Get their stories, put them together, and let's educate Botswana. That's what start from back then. There are people who I personally looked up to. Imagine Kola Pingo extension to ride opposite Jojo Mohotina Atamkala Ganase, Atamkala Zabras.
My goodness.
Imagine.
Bra Jojo, ki sendile email da aurot. Get on the other side, Hey, no, but Brazil, post football, he's doing his thing as well. You know what I mean? So what are the mindset thing coming up as well, having people like that to look up to? I mean, how important was education for you? Because like I'm saying, Jojo is a perfect example of someone who post his footballing career is out there doing his thing. KBL. How important was to get good grades?
Education is everything, man. I might not have my degree yet.
Yeah.
But
welcome to the club.
It's everything, brother.
But we're professionals.
Yeah, no. I understand. You need to go to school.
Yeah.
Before Kelebarinyana, GSS. School wasn't my priority. It's not like I wasn't a smart kid. It just wasn't my priority.
Because you were a star.
No, Negrata ball.
No, by the time you're GSS, weren't you playing for GU?
Yes, I was.
Then what are you talking about?
No, but still, man, I should have done better.
Dog, you got, first of all, these girls, there's money, and you are a kid. There's no way you wouldn't act ratchet. And even ratchetness, I mean, that's the only time you are allowed to
you
be
learn
a bit
from
wild.
Experience.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking from experience. I mean, my mother signed my deal when I was like 17. But 16 going on to 17. And, and to this day, I think my dad still is a bit... How could you? But she understood, you know what I mean, with moms, especially with...
Moms always do, man.
Yeah, there's a talent. This little nigga really believes he can do it.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to you making these funds, and you're at GU, and you're playing in the Premier League, and you're so young. How then did you align yourself to get back to thinking about school? Because none of this would have happened if you didn't get your grades up. So was there a pivoting point, like for you, or not?
To be honest, and I'd like to put it into perspective. I've never been paid a salary to play football in Botswana.
Kneeling allowance?
Not even an allowance from GU.
Are you serious?
The only money I officially got from GU was 3,000 pula the day I resigned to join Township Rollers for 24 hours. And then I wrote another resignation letter from Township Rollers to go back to GU. Yeah. So at the time we were transitioning, as football generally.
Yeah.
My generation, must say, was the one that changed this professional thing.
Yeah.
Now we're getting exposed, we're traveling, we're playing against the Zambian teams, the South Africans, and they're asking, hey, which team do you play for? Are you playing in Europe?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm in high school.
Because though.
But Dipsy, you should be playing somewhere. I'm like, why? Like, no, what is that? So the guys started demanding money. You must understand that the remuneration of our time and the yesteryears was a job opportunity. Hatimi go recruita e tla be go raere ele manager ra HR go ba tlisa go raare a supporta Rollers kana supporta GU are no tla tsamkele GU ke tla go batlela tiro ko batlays. You understand? That was our remuneration then. Oh, how I pass form 2 sharp or now form 2. Form 2, form 5 I pass sharp o ka go batlela private school nyana rana maro go duela re go zamela boroko. Or we can help you apply ko UB kana lore watla go nna nurse re go ise skweleng. That was how we got remunerated.
Yeah.
So by the time we came obe in nagona gore no, but why am badala Spania? Agro gangaza ka allowance. Because Harabo Kosafa really under 17, under 20 would stay in the same hotel, like most of the teams or all the teams. After the game, on the day off, Matagabo Zimi Wata Bakukili the TV. The only thing we could afford then LED Teki and colognes. Neru 10 play a day at the time. So that wasn't money you could do anything with.
But you didn't know any better.
We're getting there. So I ended up Hakibala from 5A, Tito Sobonero, my neighbor. He was already in the US because he was a year ahead of me. So he's hard vacationing about paying Bafana about FIFA.
You look at because those scholarships.
Yeah, no, Tito's
he was killing it. Yeah,
top guy, smart guy.
Top. So, back then, guys were getting all these opportunities. Back then, if you did your thing,
So he comes back and he's like, dude,
yes, sir.
Why was I college soccer? Like, you mean I can? It's like, no, when I'll do scholarship.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it.
Just your homie coming through for you.
Yeah. So Bukete and Tito. And I remember history. I remember Saking. I think it was the first internet cafe in Botswana. So owned by a guy from Extension 2.
All day.
Selemela boys.
Yeah, man.
So Tito took me there. We got online. We filled in this website. It was called Global Soccer Network.
Yeah.
So I put in my profile. Go typing out
yeah.
So he filled in my profile.
Wow.
And then a couple of months later I get a package through the mail. Haristo State College.
Yeah,
St. Louis, Missouri. So this guy I run a scholarship, but it's a partial scholarship. So so my mom was like, no, let's see what to do. And then I started going around the Elite Scholarship Fund, the BNSC.
Yeah.
So I went directly to them and they told me, no, we can't help you. We will help you, but you need to come through the association.
Yeah. BFA.
Through BFA.
Yes.
The member associates.
So BNSC. Yeah.
So I went to BFA. I told them I want them to write me a reference letter or recommendation letter, so that they know who I am and that I've played for all the national teams. I grew up playing football.
You had already gotten your caps by then.
Yeah, by then I mean, it was post 99 game. Yeah, Bafana.
Yeah.
So I had a.
Is it the Alfred Piri game?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when he got his first cap for Bafana.
Yeah, and then that's when everyone was looking there. Kanti, you are there.
Yeah.
Hey, was it raining?
Man, cats and dogs, bro.
Got away, it was my guy. Yeah, that was what? And then so you reached out?
So I reached out and these guys didn't understand. No, honestly, they didn't understand. I got so much resistance.
You know who was getting the elite scholarship at this time? Did you, like I said, the grades had to be in a certain way?
I couldn't get into UB.
Yeah.
No, what they get teaching. I didn't want to be a teacher.
Goodness.
You know, so there I am with a scholarship to go to the US to go study marketing. You know, and I'm saying, guys, you don't have to pay all of it. Just make sure I go.
Half, yeah.
So I had resistance for months on months. And then one day I decided, fuck it. I'm going there. So I went to the BFA office, the old BFA office, HGSS ground. Nebarentile, one of the houses. And I sat there and I said, I'm not leaving here without my letter. Because I'm not asking you for money. So they wrote the letter, took it, Kiako Sports Council approved.
So on your way to the sports council, like what's going on in your head?
I was excited.
So did you see it? No one or yo, this is about to be like a moment that's going to define my entire life. Like I just got my yes.
Yeah. And so I was excited because I was going to go to the US for the first time. I was going to play at a university and build my profile and keep growing. So, I mean, there are no words that can explain that kind of feeling. So when I got there, they took some months, but we did come to an agreement. They sponsored me. I got the Elite Scholarship Fund. Bo Begile,
yeah, man.
Tito, my guys from GU, the guys I grew up with. They had a little surprise session for me.
Wow, dog.
Go phase 4. To Brian. I'm the shy type there, by the way.
Yeah, introvert.
You know, so it be like totally drink.
But as you can see, water.
Yeah, water.
You know what I mean,
water.
Yes, we do drink water on this podcast.
Yeah, definitely we do.
Yeah, no, I
maybe I should take a sip.
No, take a sip of your water. I'm trying to think. You make first team All-American and whatever, but before you get there, you have to acclimatize. You know, and I want you to like break that down. Honore, here you are, because a lot of people take that. Sharp. We had a lot of these issues about Malaysia.
Okay.
Where all of these young people, you know, falling from the roof, falling from the skyscrapers,
I remember
and all of that. And then I got an opportunity to go perform in Malaysia. Yeah, and then I get there, and then I realize, I'm thinking if I was like from, you know, no offense, Shakawe, and niggas put me on a plane and I landed in Malaysia and then I have to acclimatize and whatever. Yo, that would be a lot. And
it can be overwhelming.
It'd be overwhelming. I run into all these different people who might get me involved in things that might make me jump from roofs. I'm not saying, who were you with? How did you manage to like at least acclimatize? You're getting into a team, so for sure you're fighting for spots.
How do I say it? But anyway, before I say that, I was telling you about the sports consultant.
Yeah.
So they gave me the scholarship. My brothers hooked me up with a bride.
Yeah.
The day I was leaving, my mom's calls on Tare, you need to come to the house as an emergency. So I get to the house, well, no, we have to go to sports council.
Yeah.
So my mom, my sister and I are thing, and then I'm told that this scholarship is not there anymore. So I'm like,
what the hell?
I didn't have words.
Yeah.
My mom and my sister were hysterical. Wow, man, how can you do this to my son? Yeah. So I was like, guys, let's go home. So we get back to the house. I go lock myself in the room, finish it off, lay it all out, go wash my face, and act cool. But about meeting. So my mom and my sister was like, dude, this is a lifetime opportunity. As a family, we're going to do this. So we'll buy you the ticket. Tamela go pay, we'll find money and we'll send you money to pay your tuition, pay your rental and your living allowance. Because my mom had done it for my sister before. Yeah. Because Nare, my sister is too soft. Asoka and TS. She took her to the UK. Yeah. So she had a bit of experience with that, with the process. Yeah. So I guess she was going to rent out our house because we had to move for my sister to go to school in the UK. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So 2 days later, I get on my flight. I go to the US with $200 to start my life.
So no
fair. So you can imagine when
people don't know your demeanor because Dipsy will be there like, oh, cool and calm and whatever, just chilling and whatever. Oh, but not like a guy story. Okay, what?
No,
so these niggas didn't come through?
No, they didn't. I left. But I think it was a blessing because I wouldn't be who I am now and I wouldn't have achieved as much as I did.
Because you knew the funds were coming from the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That there was a responsibility. I mean, a lot of people take it for granted, though. I'm just shocked, though, because, like, I would have thought.
No, it's a story I don't talk about. It's actually the first time I'm talking about it publicly.
My goodness, bro.
Publicly. It's the first time.
Hey, so, but that makes, some sense. But, like, why haven't you wilded out, though? Like, told people, yo, get off me. I don't owe nobody anything, which you
definitely don't owe anyone anything, brother. I had to work hard for my stuff. You understand? There is no one from the football fraternity in Botswana who says they took me abroad or took me to a team. They can't say that. Yeah. My family did it. Yes, definitely. Friends helped out there and there. I have loyal friends who were there for me to support me. But none of these guys can say that.
Jesus, though, Dipsy.
Maybe that's why I do my own thing.
Yes, yeah.
But it was a life-changing moment. But also, it gave me fuel to fight it and to prove them wrong and to show them that this is what I'm going to do. This is what I believe I've been put on this earth to do. So I went there. I remember my first day, my bags were lost in Germany or something. Because my mom's do that. This will always be about my mom's. My mom's is top. So I had my toilet bag. So I get some, even in my Zebras days, a toilet bag, pajamas, bag folded nicely, that was my thing. Yeah. So traveling wasn't such a difficult thing for me because I was used to it. So all I had, at least I had my toilet bag. So she always used to say, how to clap my throat, brush your teeth, and or take a shower.
Yeah, get ready.
But I got there. He the key to some guy's apartment. The guy was not there for the weekend. I'm like, I don't know anyone. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What? need to get a ready. Listen. I'm like, should I make something? Man, I don't know how to cook. At least ngaira sangwe ijinyana. It's like, nah. I do it some more. You know. So I got back to the couch. I slept my hunger away. So the guy comes the next day, walks in. Big black British guy walks in. He's like, what up? Then he goes to his room, showers, changes, peace, and he walks out. Just like that.
You're welcome to America moment.
I don't have the keys though, but I've got the key. We get thing. This way, check acoustic, check the other way.
Yeah.
So I found a 7-Eleven just around the block.
Yeah.
First thing I needed to do was to let my family that I arrived safely.
Yeah.
So I get 200 things. And I guess it's already calling cards and all of that.
Yeah.
The cheap ones for international calls.
Yeah.
So I got the standard one. How lady Araba get hello mama gone.
What that ain't got a flash here.
$20 gone. Get flash here.
Yeah, because like it just writes that but like the cost still is expensive as hell.
No, because you didn't know. They're international calling cards.
Hey, they were okay.
So we get $20 so monga hape.
Jesus.
Ilela Araba we get we gotta know I can't finish all my money to let them know that. Bought myself a drink, sandwich, then later that day, I get a knock on the apartment, Kabula, some Kenyan guys. Hey, my friend from Botswana, hey, come, we've cooked pap there. You know you like pap in Botswana.
Ugalinya.
So they took me, man. They cooked pap for me, stew. And they said, but you look soft.
Are you gonna do it that side?
So for me, I had a soft landing because there were people who were willing to help me.
Hey.
They didn't know me, they didn't owe me anything. But these guys took me in. Bro.
Fellow African brother.
My African brother. So Lanka na it just means foreigner.
Yeah.
It's used to
they call you that everywhere. I think East Africa they can call you when you're from Botswana.
They were there for me.
Yeah, you're
more they were there for me more than I'd ever experienced from my own people.
Wow, man. Yeah.
You know, the other guy even offered me his bed and he slept on the floor. He
wow.
Said, you don't look like you
could sleep on the floor.
You can survive here.
That's beautiful, man. That's amazing story. You know what I mean? So you finally then get to train. I mean, how was your first training? How was your physique compared to those guys? I mean,
first training.
Before you got your fast food on.
Kenyan, Ugandan, and the Brazilians. We had a Zimbabwean, a white Zimbabwean, a white South African, an Australian, a New Zealander.
Yeah.
Him. Yeah, and then foreign 11. Yeah.
Hey.
So back then, pre-season was about fitness, I guess.
Hey,
and it's not like now where half 45 minutes you have this amount of work. Yeah. So we went to the park, we were running, and I'm all the way at the back with the American guy.
Yes. So Manjitana in
no,
shape.
they're Kenyan guys.
They're Kenyan guys.
Running.
No, that's a cheat code.
For them.
That's already a cheat code. Any Kenyan.
So Kuka the other Wi-Fi. What kind of African is this one? Okay. All up until the first game, I think we played in Oklahoma or something.
Yeah.
After 15 minutes, you can't see you. At that level, NAIA level, you could sub a player in the first half and then bring him on. The Americans, no, even in college.
Oh.
The Americans then, they played around with the game. If you remember, even MLS, never penalty, that
one was off. Now they have even all-star games where they have where you kick the ball and score little things. They are actively, and they got Messi now, so we're in trouble. All right,
So first game they pulled me out. I told the coach, I said, "Hey, my friend, what's this?"
What's cutting?
It was just 15 minutes. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, Dipsy, please observe. Well, you can come back on. I said, no, it's not allowed by FIFA.
That's
it's like,
not the rules.
No, we make the rules. Don't worry.
This is the
United
States.
I gave me like 3 or 4 goals.
Oh.
So that was the beginning.
Yeah. And they saw.
So, mdaganya no nang pile bola wa ne rebele score chatinyana. Ele Franco Dipsy.
Yeah.
First game ele 0-4.
Oh God.
1-3.
Oh God.
0-2. By game 5 I got to score sheet. No. This guy can handle. So for me, it was a soft landing. Those guys helped me adjust, and I had to find my way. It was a very physical game, but because I was technically good and more experienced than all of them. Remember, I played national team by then.
Definitely.
So I had more experience. So I knew where to be, what to do,
placement off the ball and stuff.
Yeah. So.
Is that your first year? Is how you ended on the first team All-American? Because for most people, I think when they see this,
that was the second team All-American NAIA. It's a division lower than NCAA.
Okay.
So that was the first one. So after 2-3 months into the league, I mean, it was tough then. It was traveling with the games. It was school, and I had 3 jobs. I was working for some Niger guy. I used to take pictures and Photoshop them, cut them up people, put them next to Nelly. Now I'm the Nelly guy, No, he's a St. Louis guy.
Yeah.
So I got to St. Louis when Nelly was the shit.
He took over the world, man.
Yeah.
And he was coming from St. Louis. No one expected that from him.
So
you were right in the middle about the time he was popping up.
It was a big deal, yeah.
Ooh, country grammar.
And in St. Louis, after country grammar, they won the Super Bowl. Ooh. So you can imagine how the city is like when it comes to sport.
Because I'm thinking, first team All-American and second team All-American. Rankings in the United States games is really important.
No stats.
National, stats and like national rankings. And is that how you ended up in the draft? Because you were picked 36th. Just for people who don't understand
overall,
the draft, how did you end up in there? Because like your college career, I thought we can spend the whole show.
Yeah, it was a pretty
awesome.
Interesting one.
But it was awesome enough to get you in the draft. So how were you? Did you have an agent? How did you end up in the draft?
I was at Harrisville State College first. It was NAIA, so it's sort of like it's not the top league. I didn't know I'd get highlights and so obviously I was doing really well. 3 months into it, I get a call from a journalist here. May his soul rest in peace. Bitumelo. He calls me and says, "Congrats on your scholarship." I'm like, "What scholarship?" "The Elite Scholarship Fund." I'm like, "Hey, hold on.
I don't know them niggas.
I need to confirm this. So I call my mom. It's like, "Hey, go check those guys. I'm tired of working 3 jobs." So apparently now it's given to me. So they ended up taking care of everything. But I was already there.
Couple, you were killing now.
You understand? So I guess they jumped on because I was doing
the bandwagon. I said it. Yeah, they jumped on the bandwagon as with everything else. So
from then on, as I realized there's another league. So I tell my Kenyan crew, "Hey guys, I want to go to SLU, St. Louis University. It's just across the street. Like a main road." It's like, Dipsy, you are too old. You can't go there. But they are scouting Rob, the Zimbabwean guy. He's a good player, quality player.
No doubt.
Big library.
The only way you know how. DIY.
Get check up. Okay, co-head coach, email. I sent him an email. My introduction was, "Hi coach, I'm Diphetogo Selolwane. I'm from the dusty streets of Gaborone."
Come on now.
What dusty streets? So I had to be dramatic.
Yeah.
So I was like, I introduced myself. I'm a forward for Harrisville.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your program.
Yeah.
Can you please come and have a look at me? A few days later, he responded and he's like, "Thank you for the email. It's against the rules to talk to you, but your coach is my friend. Good luck for the rest of the season. We'll talk."
Yeah.
That was it.
How about the tampering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout the season, I'd always hear the guys on, did you see this new coach? I was just quiet.
Hey, wow.
So when we're done, they hit me up. It's like, D, can you come over for lunch? I was like, okay. So I went over, we sat down, and he said, tell me about you. One of my entry courses in public speaking.
Hey.
I get to do
Wow.
I went all out.
Yeah.
When you're done with my introduction, it's like, welcome to St. Louis.
Yeah.
A full scholarship.
What?
Yeah. Just like that. So I'm like, that easy. Like, no, we've been scouting you. We've seen everything you do. We've seen your grades. Yeah, we'll take you up. Yes, some of the other courses you won't need. But you can come. You'll be a sophomore, second year. So I was like, okay, no, that's fine.
Sure.
I'm going to SLU, but you can't go to SLU.
Sheesh, dog.
Look, I was like, okay, you'll see. So in the off season, we'd go train together. So we'd go to the YMCA to go work out. So in the gym, Rabana breaking news, St. Louis U coach moves back home. They look at me like, do you know anything about it? I was like, no. No, don't worry. The assistant coach is going to be head coach. He's the one who is scouting you. So your scholarship is
still safe.
It's safe. Abare, he'll arrange for you.
I'm sure he'll let do.
Yeah, man. So I was like, what?
It's like, oh, do you know about this?
So I met Coach Dan. He was a cool guy. He played before college. He was a college star. So he's like, we want you. We've been scouting you. His assistant, Mike Sober, he had played in USA 94. He played in Mexico. Yeah, he was a top player.
Right back.
He was a midfielder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now I'm working with these guys.
Yeah.
But the Harristow guys really did well. I mean, Coach Dennis was amazing.
Yeah.
He gave me the platform.
Yeah.
He gave me number 4.
Yeah.
I wore number 4 at Harris. So I asked him after 5 games, can I get para 11?
Yeah.
Like, no, don't worry. It's a special number. It's my number from my college days. And the former captain wore 4 also.
Yeah.
And I was breaking all the records.
Yeah.
So I broke the single season record, goal scoring at Harris. I had like 36 goals. So that record was there for like 20 years or so.
Were they easy work?
Not really. Not really. It was competitive.
Why do you think you excel so much? Because like I'm saying, for you to be even considered for any type of draft in the States,
I wanted it.
You were definitely outperforming a whole lot of people.
So at SLU, then you have real nationwide attention. You know, it's a top school.
You're an NCAA,
Yeah, NCAA. You know, more the PlayStation games. You always see about Stanford and all that. Yeah, so at that level now.
Yeah.
So we are on national TV. The state of Missouri. So it really blew up everything for me. So the whole of the US was watching from a collegiate level. So that's where I really, really made my name. You know, I think I went 10 games. The star players Brad Davis. He had been to the under-20 World Cup.
Yeah.
An amazing player.
Yeah.
Left footer.
Yeah.
I think we were playing out of town. It was his girl's birthday.
Yeah.
His girlfriend's birthday. He makes up some excuse that he wants to stay behind.
Love it, boy.
Coachy, Gilare. No, he's a star player, man. You know, big man on campus.
Yeah.
Platform.
A chance for you to get on, yeah.
I got 2 goals. I'm
It happens to the best of us. When you get a big hit, there's always someone waiting to take your spot.
So I finished that season with 52 points, 25 goals, 2 assists. So you get 2 points for scoring a goal. You get a point for an assist. So I was ranked number 1, number 2 over the season.
For both scores, for goals and assists?
No, just player. I got player rankings. So there was a guy from Houston. Yeah. I think he was in Houston. He was at another school, another top program.
Yeah.
He's the one who eventually won the Herman Trophy.
Okay.
It's so like in American football, it's the Heisman. OJ. Yeah. We have our own. We have our own. The Herman Trophy.
Okay.
So I was a finalist for that.
Okay.
I had more points than him though, and more goals. We're tied.
So you were up for it?
We're tied on points. Yeah.
God damn, Dipsy. What?
But my coach said, we gave it to him because he was a senior. As in, they thought the logic is that
you're gonna come back next season.
Yeah, I could come back next season.
That's bull. No, sorry, that's not fair.
It's politics, man. Akele Bolondo is the same things.
No, that's not fair. They shouldn't make an assumption that you're gonna come back. I mean, what if you do get drafted?
Seniority.
No.
Seniority.
No, that's never right though.
So, when we were preparing for the second season, we find out that I can only have 1 year eligibility to play. So I had a meeting and they said, don't worry. You're
eligibility for the draft?
To play. No, to play in college. So I only played 1 season at NCA, Division 1. So they said, okay, you'll train with us. We'll find you a social team to stay fit because you want to play for your national team. It's like, hey. Then some guy called and said there's a team in Denmark that's interested. So I had a meeting with my coach. I said, why don't I just go pro? So but you have to leave now. The MLS Combine was 3 weeks from that date. So that's where now all the best college players or those that want to enter the draft to go pro, they all come together and you do skills
little
tests,
drills and
play
stuff.
matches and stuff, and the teams now know who to pick and how they fit in.
With the structure is identical for all sports.
Yes, that's how they do it.
Because there's also a combine for NFL, it's on for baseball, so
everything.
Everyone.
That's how you manage and scout talent.
So
these guys are way advanced. So don't be fooled when I want to talk about Messi. These guys are building their own world.
No, I think by having Messi, now they're about to turn a curve.
Yeah. So they've been doing that, getting like big players. But anyway, with my story, I chose to go to Europe. I quit school. I wrote a letter that
How deep in were you?
Dude, there was no backing up.
You were committed?
No, I had to go. So I went for a tryout. It wasn't guaranteed. So
Who's negotiating for you?
My then agent, I even forget his name. I'm trying to forget
him.
I'm trying to forget him forever. So I did.
Did he dog you, Lord? We can't just run through him because I'm always thinking if guys have
dogged many times, but I think maybe it was that I was stubborn also. Because I also wanted to learn business. You know,
so you can do for yourself also.
So I went to Denmark. I was on trial for a week. On the final day, they called me in, and that's why I actually had my first racist experience, by the way.
Shit.
So we stayed in a little village called Vejle, just outside Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So Gagibli to meeting with the air. You see, this is your last day. If you don't impress, you go back to Africa. In my head, I'm like, I'm from the States.
Nigga, what you talking about? You don't see this drip?
But it was cool. I didn't take it personal.
That's the widest country out there, I'm sure, Lord. There are places they Facebook.
But it was Denmark. A nice place, though. But it was a very nice place.
So what happens at those places, though? Like that, niggas is always coming back. You know what is?
You need a thick skin, man.
But what are the drills? Is it the assignments? What most of the time? I mean, I'm sure these young cats talk to you also. You know, I have a lot of friends within football. You know that, and guys always coming back. Just the other day, I think Cooper.
Yeah.
Key went to, I think, was it Sundowns? I don't know. And, you know, and
you went to Ajax, Cape Town Spurs.
He went to Cape Town Spurs. Came back. Guys keep coming back, Dipsy.
It's about attitude. It's about ambition.
Yeah.
You know, I must say, now I've been blessed. I've met people along the way who kind of gave me the key to some things. So I remember when I was the upcoming star with GU, Coach Ziki then, and I was shouting at another guy for not passing me the ball right and stuff. And he said, this attitude will never get you anywhere. If ever Kaizer Chiefs calls you tomorrow, when you get there, they don't know you. They don't care about you. Go get the ball, be nice. You know, until you earn your spot, then you can tell them, dude, fuck off. You know, so I carried that with me, and I've always carried it with me all my life. That my excellence will speak for me.
I don't have to be extra.
No. I will So that guy gave me 45 minutes. I remember one move. I was on a plane to Spain with them for pre-season. You know, and that's life. We just have to be ready to take your chance, or be lucky enough to recognize the moment.
Recognizing the moment is important.
Recognizing the moment and actually taking that moment. So for me, that's what it was, and I signed my contract. Unfortunately, we got relegated that same year. And the guy who I'd spent most of my time with, when the team traveled before I got my work permit, was with the reserve team. He said, no, I might be head coach. I want you to come with me. I said, I'm going. I said, and I went to my bank account. I was like, yo, I'm broke.
So never
it was, for me, it wasn't about money. It was about exposure, about getting into
the experience as well.
The experience, and hopefully do well and earn myself a good contract, very good contract, and hopefully get to England. You know, that's always the dream. I can't lie about that. That was always the dream. So I was like, hey, stuff. I had to call the head office. Head office, I'm not staying here. I'm coming back home. She's like, are you sure? I was like, no, I'm going.
Is this GU?
No, I mean my mom.
Your mom's, No, I'm playing, dog. Like between GU and your mom, I know your mom is in high esteem, but I think GU is somewhere there because you didn't play for anyone else when you were down in BW, I guess.
I played on second division, Koro Spokesy, Nyangagwe FC.
What were you doing
which is now... No, it is the process. I was climbing the ladder. So, which is now
I recognize. I'm going to move you to 2005, though. How did you make it to Santos? You know, because Santos, even though we hated the kid, you know.
Why?
Buyelo. You are the one who actually anyhow, people are going through pain right now. We don't want to make it worse. Okay. How did your move to Santos come through? You make the call to your mom. You're like, I'm trying to leave now. I'm trying to come back home. I'm trying to find teams.
So what I did is from Denmark. I came home. I was here for a month or so. I played one game for GU.
Okay.
I think Nerejagana Sibile. So I went back to the US.
Oh, okay.
They drafted me while I was away. So my agent says to me when I get there, when they offer me the first shitty contract, and he says, these guys know you ditched them for Europe. You're going to have to earn your way to the top again. You would have been drafted number 1.
Because happy you were up for that thing.
The Herman Trophy. The Mac Award, Missouri Athletic Club Award.
Because if you're up for them, you're definitely up there as far as the draft number.
So I would have gone quite early in the draft, if not number 1.
Damn.
Or 2.
Were you looking to play in the MLS though? Or were you also thinking at the time, this is everyone across the world was not really rating it. So when in your mind, did you rate it when?
Yes, because now I was living there, I could see what was happening, what was going on, and then I ended up signing there. I got drafted with Chicago, obviously, but by Chicago. So when I got there, I shared a dressing room with one of my idols, all-time idols, Risto Stoichkov. I'm like, this guy is
Jersey number 8.
You know.
What?
I'm telling you, man.
You know I'm out here. Come
on. He's like, African. Yeah, you see African. We have one guy in Barcelona. He look just like you, eh? He stayed 5 years, 17 years. He's a funny guy. He's a dope guy.
Risto Stoichkov, captain of Bulgaria, dog.
So I got into a very good team. So we had Ante Razov, we had DeMarcus Beasley. I think he's one of the few players in the world to play 4 World Cups. With Jesse Marsh, he was playing in the midfield. He was coaching Leeds and stuff. Ante Razov was a striker. Chris Amos was the captain, club captain. This guy was assistant coach at Man United. So you can see the level these guys were at. So I got drafted, man, and I was like, it's not a bad place. But 2 years into it, and I was traveling a lot with the Zebras. So a couple of us were transferred to Real Salt Lake to go start the new franchise in Salt Lake City.
Just during the expansion,
Yes, with the new expansion, better contract. You know, I was like, fuck, I'm going. I'm not gonna fight this. I'm going to Salt Lake City. So we all went. We went as a group. So it was nice that when we got there.
Did the homies get drafted?
Yes.
Get out homies from Kenya and Rob.
Rob didn't get drafted.
Rob,
I like that guy. I'm not sure if Rob stayed at Harris to graduate or he transferred. But the brothers then, after I left, they also left the program to better colleges or bigger colleges.
Awesome stuff.
You know, so it was an exodus of the African guys.
Man.
But most of them are still in the US.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, working there now. So they used to ask, what's wrong with you? Every vacation, you're going home.
What's in
Botswana? You're in the land of milk and honey. No, you've never been to Botswana. You won't understand.
Guys don't understand. Now we always trying to come back home.
That, though?
I don't know. That places are just wild sometimes. I think, we don't know aberrant poverty like that. Some people that are just...
True.
When you get your way out, I'm not going back to that. I'll do anything that's possible. So...
True.
And I don't know if that makes us privileged, and then the hunger for more is not there.
It's not there. Maybe you are right if you put it like that. It was Panama, the piece job on I'm going to take a shower. For what? I'll see you guys in the morning.
Yeah, my nigga.
There was a pub we used to go to downtown.
Man.
$10 was more than enough. $3 was we share the cab fee. $7 all you can drink. And that's it. You can have anything. So pakela Tana metro kikela molong. Rock says $50.
You're balling.
No, that's
you know what I mean.
No, me, I'm spending 10. I'm sending 50 back home.
Heish, my nigga.
So maybe that's why maybe you are right when you say we come from privilege or softness that we don't aspire for more.
When we take it for granted a lot.
We take it for granted, yeah.
You know. So after you are inside, you're not Salt Lake. I guess you're not the 1 year you spent there. Yeah. Were you able to get playing time? Like how were your stats?
I played in the first official game, by the way. I didn't even score a goal, and it's the time the Zebras was trying to qualify for AFCON and World Cup at the same time for 2006. Germany. So. I was the leading scorer from the beginning.
Kind of that's what's crazy. I never really understood how you were able to do it. Because the distance, You know what I mean?
Agree, you know how it's like in Botswana. So they'd always book me economy. Sometimes they wouldn't even pay for the ticket until I get to the airport and I have to call head office. Moms, I love
your mom, man.
So,
what?
No, she's cool people.
We're both taking a sip here.
So, yeah, and I'm having water.
No, leave me alone, man. Like I'm out here, like I'm in your world right now because like I'm going crazy because you're doing all of these gigs for us to qualify, and there's the traveling involved.
A lot of traveling.
You're trying to keep your place in Salt Lake. Is that why you didn't stay long there? Is it because you kept coming down?
They told me.
But how did they put it?
They told me. They called me in.
Priorities.
I came in. I'm not sure which game we played. I came in. I flew back immediately. I was there for 5 days, and they knew I was leaving over the weekend. And our qualifiers weren't aligned with the MLS season. So they said to me, listen, dude, you're not putting up points on the board.
Yeah.
So you are not here. You have prioritized your national team. And I tried to say to them, I am the leading scorer in Africa right now.
It doesn't matter. They need you so they can use you.
No, but they could have sold me. If I got a team in Europe, they could have sold me for lots of money.
Yeah.
But they said, you are not putting up points on the board. We're thinking of releasing you.
They didn't think like you were, I guess, worth something at that point. Or at least they could profit from it. Or they were just trying to drop you, hella, just to get rid of their,
their squad roster, open up a space for a foreign player. And
so they didn't want to go through the tedious negotiations.
Yeah.
Let's just get someone.
So there's anyway, we are not really struggling even when you're not here.
Oh, they hit you with that.
So I was like, okay.
How was that for your ego?
No, I was over it by then. You've seen worse. Okay, it's cool.
Sheesh.
I chose my national team over them.
Yeah.
Who's
your manager at this point? Is it still you and working with the fam? Or
my mom was managing my stuff here, logistics, whatever that needed to
travel and all of that.
Yes, she's one. She actually called Don Garber, the GM of MLS.
What?
Hey, my son is there. We must work out the work permit. She's that kind of a person.
Yeah.
Even at the Safa house there, my work permit came through just like that. She called people. I'm
gonna digress and talk about work permits. We had Petula on the show. The last show we had.
Amazing talent.
Amazing talent. She made it onto YFM, and she's an SA. Her star is rising. Everything is looking really, really beautiful. The family's there. To cut a long story short, she had to cut all those plans and return back to B-Dub because she couldn't get a work permit. You've never struggled. From the outside looking in, I don't know your experience with immigration. If we look at South Africa, before we get into how you got to Santos and Ajax. I'll
joke here.
No, I'm really, really hurt about it. Even after we interviewed her, I'm like, yo, is there anything we can do? Like, how did you manage the work permit stuff?
Well, from my experience, because I had a G in my corner, my G will call. Doesn't matter. She will call the embassy. She will call whoever who needs to get called. She will call. So I learned this throughout my processes. Obviously, the job itself. Yes. Why advertise you as just normal processes? Even we do the same in Botswana. But you must understand. The backlog where the application it's about 10 million probably. So it is very difficult to navigate that. You need somebody on deck to do that for you.
Make some calls.
Calls, make connections so they can fast process your file. Yeah, I know you are willing to go that far. You do that.
I'm just saying, it shouldn't be this hard for Africans to travel in Africa.
Yes, it's difficult. But Africans, everybody else comes here. It's nice for them.
Easy. But now I just don't understand how that, how we still have that going on. And this is one of those moments where I had to reassess how I think about Julius Malema and his idea of the United States. But that's got another brother's killed, so we're going to leave that story.
Yes, please, let's stay away from that.
I ain't trying to get shot. How do you make it to Santos? You hit up the fam, I'm trying to come home, or you're like, yo.
No,
do they still want me down here?
While I was still in Chicago, obviously I have a relationship with the journalists, the commentators and stuff, from the interviews, post-match interviews. So the biggest library of African football, Mark Gleason, the tallest man in the city.
Yeah, man.
So Mark Gleason used to call me and interview stuff, how is MLS and all of that. So he'd always ask me at the end of our interviews for Bo Kickoff. He was doing articles and stuff.
He was doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Man.
So he's like, when are you coming to South Africa, man? I'm like, if ever the offer comes, I'll do it.
Is it Soccer Laduma or Kickoff at this point? But I think he was a freelancer.
Yeah, no, he was a freelancer. So I think he was doing multiple things. He was doing the commentary there. He was writing.
And you could tell he had intrinsic knowledge of every person that he talked about.
Encyclopedia. Yeah, he knows everything, man, about everyone.
And the other day I was listening to commentary but they're starting to talk like him.
Yeah.
So like even when you're listening
to he's a trailblazer.
So listen, I knew that brother was a brother, man.
Yeah.
So that interview is how. Yeah. Who saw it? So
what he did is he said, okay, I have a few relationships with the chairman in the league. I interview him all the time. I'll just tell them you're available.
Be nice to journalists.
So at the time,
no, I'm just telling these brothers. Shout out to Martin Fani, shout out the brand, shout out
Fox,
who are the homies at RB2 right now, shout out all of you guys. Yeah. These guys work tirelessly, and it's hard to get this information if you don't go to the games. Yeah. Not a lot of them are televised, so these brothers, shout them out. And
no, they play a huge role, and that's why I'm saying we must always look at sport holistically, not just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but you can go.
So Mark Gleason tells me that Ghulam Ali is interested. I'm like, who that?
The name alone,
like, no, he'll call you. So Ghulam used to call me when I was in Chicago, and then while I was at Real Salt Lake, Ivan called right about my
the
time.
Chairman.
Yeah.
You spoke to the chairman.
Yeah.
Like easy, hello. Were you sitting up? Were you standing? How?
I was sitting down. I had to sit down so I don't fall over.
But like you're like a smooth operator though. So while you're out there killing it in the States, in the back of your, in your sleeve here, you're talking to chairman of Santos and Orlando Pirates.
Obviously, when they're looking for a player, so Ivan called, discussed. He said, "Come to Pirates." I said, "Oh my God, God came at the right time." Just like that. I said, I've got a car, I've got furniture, I'm trying to buy a house here. It's like, no, you'll buy a house here. Just come here.
This is the chairman.
This is the chairman. Yeah. And you see, that's the hook.
We'll get you everything you need. Dude,
I tell you, I left my BMW there, my stuff. I never spoke to that dude after that. I called him, never answered.
Yeah, because he's the mafia. He's the chairman. No, get out of mafia. I mean it. Like I can imagine a Don called you, like something out of
out of a movie.
Hey, but he took his time to call you. Can we take a moment for that, man? Because that's a real, like he's like Jerry West go Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. It's like the owner of the team, but who's really in the team.
In it, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, damn.
So he never called, but Patrice's dad, the old man, may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mom met him. The old man started calling me. He said, "No, come to Sundowns. My son is rich. I can pay you anything." I said to him, no, like last time Sundowns was Nagi did you some pirate.
Yeah.
And I was a Chiefs fan. I grew up as a Chiefs fan. My mom is a Swallows fan.
You
understand? So I didn't take him seriously.
Yeah.
And up until I got here and Ivan wasn't answering. So I was like, okay, fuck it. It's gone. I'll, from now onwards, date, that's what I deal with.
Initial.
Even now, we must say, I don't play like no. So I came down. We went to play Morocco. You remember that?
Was it 2-1?
No, that 1-0. Yeah, strike. So from Morocco, I go OR. So I call home or no, Kilendile. My mom is like, no, Barometric to come get you. I get okay, no, that's fine. So Patrice's dad organized his driver to come and take me and take me for training. So I get an telling me the back and the tricks to the Azabras. Kerasa, Gray, Mononta, Mele, if I go, I'm going to look for a job. Let's go a shop.
Do your thing. Yeah.
Baba management about I get a regulate.
That's the head coach. He's the manager.
So I was staying at the Crown Plaza. I think now it's called a corner of Greyston and Rivonia. It's got a funny name. So I was staying there.
That's not Patrice type hotel. You think I'd rattle it off the top of the dome?
Dude,
come on, man.
It was ridiculous. Like, I didn't think it was like that until I saw it. So I had the.
I saw you telling a picky lady the rose anyway.
It's opposite Investec. I'll remember the name of the. You guys know the place. No, I'll remember it.
Hey.
So the old man Akere is taking care of me. So his driver takes me to training the first day, some just I had met even in Denmark. We played at the same time. I think he played for Aarhus.
Yeah, he did go up there. Yeah.
Yes, and I'd met Zuma there, but we weren't like tight, nearly 8 or Africa.
Yeah.
Brian I knew from 99.
Yeah.
So at least I could conversate with him.
This is one
Peter Ndlovu was there. You know Muzenda.
Yes.
So it was his last
he came
years.
from Europe and went to Sundowns.
Yeah. You know, so
if you don't know Peter Ndlovu,
YouTube.
What? Zim's finest.
Zim's finest.
What?
Yeah. So at least my first day I had a few faces that I knew. But Jabulani Mendu is there. So joke about and really 50. It was 50 of us.
So this is early, like pre-season, or what are they doing?
No, season is
Simulo. So what are they doing with a 50 deep squad?
50-man squad. They were throwing out money, so getting all these players. So they wanted to get the best of the best.
Kind of Brazil
no, he was remodeling the team. So Harriet's on dressing room. The first team goes to pitch A, then there's pitch B, then pitch C. So Josta went with me. Paulos Masehe, they ended up at Pirates, these other guys.
Yeah.
So this group was there.
Did Josta play for Sundowns? He played for Chiefs, I get.
Yeah, in Sundowns.
Did he play for Sundowns as well?
He was at
Did
Sundowns
they give him 9?
Before I had Chiefs, yeah.
Dope.
No, I think Surprise was playing, so he couldn't wear 9. So from Hanzeri, really busy. Assistant, hey, you have to come that side. Go A team.
Yeah.
No coach Gamondi and the other guy, they nearly paying but South America. That was South America.
Oh, okay.
Kappa and Gamondi.
Okay.
Gamondi was the assistant.
Yeah.
So he comes to me and he says, player, we don't know you. The coach said I must tell you. You're only here because of the chairman's father. It's like, okay, I don't have a problem with that.
I respect that honesty.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with that. So I was like, okay, cool. Pass you.
So they tell you this before you even get in?
Yes. The coaches are telling me that we are not interested in you.
Even before you jump in.
It's just courtesy because our boss's father brought you on. No, it's the first time the old man is coming here. No, I didn't have a problem. I wasn't even trying to be part of it.
Dipsy.
Yeah. So I train with these guys. So Sundowns is the first official team I ever trained with in South Africa.
Yeah.
Even though before I went to college, I had gone to Main Rangers in Durban, but they offered me a contract, but I was like, ball school, I'm going to America.
What did they change into, Kante? Main Rangers.
They became some.
One of
the franchises, yeah.
And then the striker, that Carnell, I think Bradley Carnell.
Is
in the States now. Can't Bradley Carnell?
No, Bradley Carnell is the left back.
Is he the one coaching?
Yeah, he's the coach in the States, yeah.
So you know how then is anyone looking, or now you have to start from scratch now?
You start from scratch, man. So I find out I do my own
evil
research.
Shit though. It's like,
no, it's some real shit.
Get in, but also it's real. I think a lot of us
have it like that.
I wish we had more honesty like that here in B-Dub instead of stringing people along. Yeah, just let them know. Or
don't email me. This is not possible. I don't know what the email your proposal. No, don't email.
No, don't even try email me.
It's not gonna fly. I'll respect you for that.
My goodness,
so I found out they had more than 8 foreigners. I'll probably be the 9th foreigner.
Did they have a quota then?
Yeah, they've always had 5.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going to stay here for another 6 months just training.
How old are you at this point?
2005. You'll do the math.
Okay, yeah. No, retire.
The crew, can you help us? I want to graduate.
I want to reach here. But like I'm thinking, okay, for soccer years, yeah, so isn't that in the back of your mind too, when now you're being training session to training session, you are back out of your element in the States, and lo and it wasn't like a good goodbye. How were you able to keep your morals up also? Was it the African goals?
It's a hunger, man. If you want it, you want it. It doesn't matter what anyone says. I'm a firm believer that no one man can end your destiny. You must go somewhere else. So I decided to pack and leave. I didn't wait. So the old man then really wanted me to stay. He said, no, we'll find a way. We'll get you a work permit. Happy your father is South African. You can get your PR. I'm like, hey, I don't want that tedious stuff. So I came home and Gulam called, says, oh, I hear you're in Botswana. Mark Gleason gave me your number. I was like, yeah, sure. It's like, can you fly down to Cape Town? So I was like, okay, fine, no problem. So I flew to Cape Town. I trained 2 days, 3 days. They gave me the contract. And that's how my South African career started at Santos.
Dipsy, I think there was a point where you guys nearly won the league. Was it your first or second season?
That was when I was at Ajax.
That was Ajax. But there was a point where, I'm trying to remember because, I'm trying to remember about a time where Ajax was actually not even mid-table, top 8. From having been relegation, material. There was a time when they made a push. I don't know if the time you were there or what.
No, with Santos, they were relegation. When I joined, they were the relegation position. So I scored 11 goals in 17 starts.
Yeah.
I was kickoff player of the year.
We were supporting that team.
Yes. So my rankings were really, really good. I mean, my player stats, I had 11 goals, man, from 17 starts.
But they played you a bit deep, though.
With Santos, I played as a second striker. And then that year, we transitioned to top 8 from relegation. And Gulam likes saying, hey, I owe you.
Because that season, I don't know. I think maybe Lenani Kele positive about Timia thing. The minute you got in, I just started seeing
No, it was a good mix for me. I think describe Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
Because I was playing with the tall homie, the big guy
who always had it all the time,
man.
and that's you.
So I try look at more space.
He's already there with you.
Now better the assist there.
Yeah.
So I scored a lot of goals that they made a lot of noise, and then I ended up going to Cosmos. You know, so
how did that happen? Did you meet Jomo? But even before then, did Mohori come there when you were at Santos, or you guys linked up at Supersport only?
No, Mohori came. I recruited Mohori to Santos.
How does that work?
I was in with the chairman.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I said,
you've always been out there doing it on a high level.
Yeah, you have to hustle. So I was the son at Santos. Even the guys used to tease me. Hey, you are the favorite. So Gulam, because I didn't have a car then, so the driver Gulam would pick me up for training, take me to his house. I'd have lunch with his family. Would do the kids drop off and pick up together with the driver before he takes me home. So so in conversation over the table.
No wonder you were so good. You were in that deep with the chairman. Like a son. Dipsy, they were going to be relegated. You literally yanked them out of it.
No, he says that. I have it on video too. I made sure I have the evidence.
Because when we saw that was like so inspirational for a lot of us. I mean, there's so many little things that we can all unite on as a country. Right now, we got Litsile, you know what I mean? Palesa at a certain time as well. You know what I mean? And at that point, it was always you. And especially, I don't know about the girls and all, but like for the niggas, we went back to the PSL because of you.
Nice to know.
Nice to know. So that's really what's amazing. So how you got Mohori over there. Yeah. How then do you go to Cosmos?
Contract. Gulam had promised me a beach house as a signing bonus. I'm telling you.
And then I
was one of the most sought out players at the time. You know, I had scored so many goals. Kickoff. I had a little you know, kickoff with Chiefs and Pirates, and maybe now Sundowns. So Santos can't be on the front page. So at least my name was there and stuff. So they knew my worth. So that's why for me, I was learning. This was all about absorbing. So the press conference for the next season, he calls me outside to say, Dipsy, you are signing. Sure, where's the title deed? Like, no, Dipsy, you have to sign. We are going to make an announcement today about your contract extension. I said, title deed. So he goes back into the press conference and announces that I'm the club captain. So with that, it means that I'm staying. So whoever wants to come get me has to pay a lot of money. So he knew there was interest from Sundowns, obviously, because I had been there. There was interest from Supersport.
I'm sure you got that other coach fired. Because how can Ajax No, it didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen like that. So what happened is I went to Cosmos. I signed a pre-contract with Cosmos.
Yeah. And
I went there for a short stint. I'm not at liberty to speak about it, but offline I could tell you all about it.
Yeah, no. Sandawana re senka gona nonyana wa bona kira wa bona re dira le ga dimakile ona ke itse dio tsa molepolo so you are not allowed to talk about it.
No.
Then do you get to meet Re Jomo Sono at this point in time?
I was talking to him 3 weeks ago.
How ban?
No, Brazil. You know, it will never change. Love him for life, no matter what happened. Go Cosmos is. Come on, you cannot not love him.
No, and again, like you want to go Cosmos, go around like a bit this sharp or how to compare it. So, I'm
not going to allow you to bash Cosmos.
Since you know Big Homie.
No. I'm not going to allow you.
Okay, when I can say coach,
no, I'm building my own team.
Because
he's a phone call away. I called him the other day.
He's an amazing person for football.
For football, he's done a lot.
All the people that he actually trained and got to the level that they are. Like, a whole lot, because a lot of graduates from his development academies as well. But it's really, really big. I don't know how many minutes we're on right now. Usually the comments kill me about how I rush through interviews. But like, I want to then get to you going to Ajax Cape Town, because, you know, okay, you did you go back as the captain at Santos?
No. But
he really just switched though.
No, he didn't really switch. You know, when you're negotiating a new contract, it depends on who has leverage. So at first, he had promised me the beach house. And I said, okay, I'm going to take Muhori. He'll stay with me. But I want the title deed. I go out there, I told you. Experience has taught me.
Yes.
So because he didn't bring the title deed, so I didn't commit verbally.
Yeah.
You know, so I signed a pre-contract, believing that Jomo can take me back to Europe. That didn't quite work out well, because when I got there, he didn't sign me as a foreigner. So what we did is that then I started my application for permanent residence. So I had to call up my dad. I was like, hey, Mr. So he was more than happy to do that. You know?
And then he put you on, that's
so
dope.
he signed my affidavit and stuff, and then I got my PR. So, and it only came towards the end of the first round. So I only played 2 official matches to Cosmos, and then Brajay. And on the 23rd, 23rd of December, I left Cosmos. I came down, and then I joined the Zebras. We went to play Bafana. They were preparing for AFCON. You played them in Durban. I think I had a very good game.
Was it the one year Malamara Tilung Horoba? Hey, no, but I think maybe I remember it with Dirangarta Horoba Pina.
So that game.
But like, so how important are these games?
They're big. I mean, it's like, and I always say this. I don't know how it's like for you. If this was my podcast, and I'm like, I heard you spit. Can you spit for me about? And then I wanna BTA. I wanna. You think I'm gonna sign you?
No. You have to do it on the spot. Yeah.
So that's why you have to. You do your thing.
You have to find the groove. I used to do that. It's like my cousin Raoni used to do that to me. Funny you speak about that. It's like how I met Bobby Sao and all these Gabs homies and whatever. I used to go to parties with my cousin, and then she'll get there. It's like, oh, by the way, and she's pretty. Oh, this is my cousin. He raps. Oh, so you rap?
That was your hooker.
What the spit? I listen to whatever beat is echoing. So that's your moment to shine.
You recognize the moment. So that's what really happened at the time.
That game was big. A lot of people got discovered on that game.
There was a lot of attention there. It was broadcasted live on TV. Zebras was on TV. Jomo scored the first goal. I had the assist. And then Zuma, I think, scored the winner. They beat us 2-1.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got to my phone, I'm like, I got missed calls. Hey? Good. He's like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Phone. Then Ajax is interested. Can you go to Cape Town? I'm like, sure thing. I don't have a problem. Yeah.
So is it as beautiful as it looks from the outside? Ajax, because it is an international team.
No, I get they had that partnership.
An affiliation, does it extend from the European style to down here? Or
for me, by far the best club I've ever played.
For real, it looks like it.
Better than Denmark, better than the US, better than any other team.
Dog, it looks like it from the outside looking in.
No, they were top tier. So I was like, okay. So Tanali Timmy, we fly back to Joburg to connect Botswana. I do my thing.
Again.
You know, umpego kisa di coco ka home. I get the mic di coco. Hey, violent di coco. Because I didn't want to train when I got there. I wanted us to go sign off the deal. So I get there.
So they can do that. Like you can go for a meeting and then guys say, "Show us what you got."
Spade.
Wait, okay. I thought you meant me. So that's really it. It's like
that's it.
You get in there and then like show us what you got.
So they didn't see. They said.
So this time you came with your game plan. They were nice. Hey, when you had a game plan also. Hey, happy you got leverage. Yeah.
So they know me from the Cape Derby.
Yeah, you've been kicking that. Happy you had. I don't know. It's like some of these games. It's like you had a mission. You know what I mean? Because
I love big moments.
You really, but it's really hard. I mean, that's how you then identify greatness.
Yeah.
Big moments. From your Kobe's, whatever's, to your Mampizis. I mean,
they step up.
You know, when it's a big moment, that's when you thrive.
You step up.
You know what I mean?
That's the difference.
I'm guessing this is why your longevity within the South African game was even better than even some South African players. I mean, you played a vital role and you actually helped them secure the Telkom Cup in your first season.
Yeah.
Was this your first piece of, trophy wear?
I won the US Open Cup. So that was a big thing. So we got to play in the islands and stuff. Yeah. So there in the US MLS, they don't give you a medal, they give you a ring with your name and number and stats.
I went to my states by
So in college, I have my own championship ring.
They can't change soccer. They need to stop it. I know what they did well for you and you're our hero. But like they really need to stop trying to change the sport.
No, but your medal is at home. Your ring, you can wear it out. You're a champion, dude.
We've always done medals.
Yeah, but you can't walk around with your medal. It's weird.
Hey,
but you could wear your ring.
The ring is still huge. Even those graduation rings that guys wear from college.
Yes.
I have a homie.
He's letting you know I'm a graduate. This is what I've earned.
No. So you've had silverware also in the States as well.
Yes.
So how big was this for you?
The Telkom Cup with Ajax.
And how much did they give you? Because it the bonus. I mean, Toto has won a couple of them,
Well, Pirates also has very different bonus structures. So
no, I think it was a Platinum Stars. Platinum Stars.
Did you win them with Platinum Stars?
I win the Platinum Stars. Sundowns. I'm not sure.
So what happens is this though, in your player contract, the key things would be the deliverables from both parties. So the duration of the contract, the remuneration, the working conditions, and then the club policy that you have to follow. So now you follow that. How the 7 a.m. you are there. How the 10 p.m.
you better be there.
That's how it's like. And then there will be an option on your bonus structure. Okay, you score one goal, we give you X amount. Or if we win the league, if you're like Messi, if you win the league, we'll give you a percentage of the prize money.
He gets a percentage of the prize money?
Lionel Messi has shareholding for the club and he's getting a piece of the Apple deal. The league sponsorship. Apple TV is getting a piece of that too. So that's crazy business.
That's good business too.
Yeah. So he's not
knowing your worth.
He's not getting back like Ronaldo there.
No, leave my nigga alone. Yo, let's not go down that road. No, let's go.
And
flavors. Where is this father who got him in trouble with tax?
Different strokes.
All right, so let's keep it moving.
So with that, and then with the club policy, they would say, okay, if we win the league or if we win a major cup, the club keeps 30%, and then 70% goes is shared equally amongst the players, or it's shared according to your appearances within the games. So it depends. It's different strokes for
different folks and how you negotiate.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out why you've never had an agent.
I've had.
Have you? I mean, Mike McCabe comes up a lot.
McCabe was
Mike McCabe, like he works with a lot of people in
my super sport.
What I see you moving away from names.
Yeah, no, I tried to avoid that.
I said it twice. It's like
okay. I was a pro sport player.
Hey, so, pro sports
yes. Hey. So from Ajax to super sport, it was done through pro sport. I was negotiating an extension on my deal. So
that's my 7 o'clock alarm.
So there's like, what you doing at 7?
I have no idea. My girl keeps asking me the same thing also. But it's like, it gives me some, I like consistency. Yeah. No, so every day at 7, Habit gets her to laugh all the time. Look.
No, that's good.
It's like, I really don't know what to do. Anyway, pro sports,
So I was negotiating my new deal.
Yeah.
By then I thought, at least I know the business a little bit. So I don't have to bring in somebody to get a commission for what I can do.
Yeah.
I can hold my ground and say my word.
What's the commission? 25?
10% or less. Oh, 25 with the woods.
No, get a check. 15, I think.
Even
that.
Even 10 is too much.
It's like, what are you gonna do? Well, hey, I'm doing all the work.
Well, you called somebody and said, I want X amount of money? No.
After they called me, and that's what the crazy part is about being a musician. Yeah. A person will call me, and then I have to call the manager to tell them to call that person. But I can type a thing. I can type an invoice.
It looks professional.
Hey, it looks professional. Or to talk to my manager.
Yes.
Okay. So you were able to navigate because
so we didn't agree with Ajax. I wanted a longer deal. I mean, I was the oldest infield player, and I knew I was a star player, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I knew
you were killing.
I was killing it. So I had leverage. So we sat down and he said, we can only offer you 1 year. And I said, what can I do with 1 year? Yeah, I'll get my signing on bonus. I'll get my salary. You guys pay well. You pay me okay on time. I don't have issues with that. I want a minimum of a 2 year high-level pilot. If not, I want 3 years. I want to retire here. I believe this is my home.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, we can only offer you 1 year. Take it or leave it. I said, okay, sharp. I walked up. So when I got home, I called this guy who was trying to lure me to a pro sport. He was working for Mike Macap. So I was like, hey, dude, those Ajax guys. And he's like, no, don't worry. Give me 1 hour. After 1 hour, he's like, check your messages. I got a contract from Supersport. Are you ready to sign today? I'm like,
of course.
Why not?
How many did he give you? Like how long?
So it was a 2-year contract with an option for renewal. So the last year, you don't negotiate. It's what
performance speaks first for you.
Or you guys agree.
Okay.
No, they pick up or they don't pick up.
Do they give you a heads up during the season, or is this surprise, nigga? You ain't got a job.
It depends on how they are like. You understand? So we always get it twisted because we don't have a role to play.
Just the player.
With Supersport, that 3rd year, I didn't call them to exercise it or anything. Maybe I should have just called Ilya and said, guys, am I staying or am I going?
Yeah.
Because there's somewhere I can go. So when you say that, now the pendulum swings
on
your way.
On your thing.
No, I didn't fight for it like I should have. So I went to Ajax. I mean, I left. I went to Supersport. That guy, same day they told me take it or leave it. I got a job offer right there. I signed and I kept quiet. It was within the 6 months before the end of the contract. So that's 6 months. Which Batswana, I hope you guys are listening.
That's your camera right there.
New players, I hope you are listening.
And there's a bunch of them now.
When you have your 2-year contract, with 6 months left for your contract to end, if your club has not said anything, they don't want you. Go and find another club. Because you are going to be stuck. Car window period.
Yeah.
There are many other guys who are looking for the same job that you're looking for.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So most likely you are getting fucked.
And that's why that no one is talking to you, nigga.
Yeah. So 6 months
check it out. Yeah.
The clubs should start scouting,
Yeah.
preparing
For the next season.
Yeah. Or the next few years. They must look at their club roster. Okay, Ronaldo player radile kahe. Contract tsa bone di ntse yana di hela leng.
Yeah.
So whose contract do we need to extend or do we get rid of? Okay, this one has potential. Maybe we can make some money off him.
Yeah.
So you sell him with a year left on his contract. You see the Mbappe scandal that's going on.
Because now he's about to walk away free. Because and I think he might not play the year.
You know, some clubs will make a point. They'll prove a point. They'll keep Mbappe because never more budgeted. They could keep him. But Mbappe doesn't get to play for a year. Is it the same Mbappe after 1 year?
And this is in France, so I'm sure the government is probably at one point going to get involved. Because this is...
how?
No, the owners of the company are from the outside of the country, but it's still PSG, it's still in the country. So, we can't have our star player...
But let's take it in the context I'm trying to explain. That's 6 months. It was done for the player. Leverage to negotiate a better deal or to leave a place he's unhappy at.
Would you advise them to negotiate for themselves or have a representative? I know
if you can't, you should get.
How do you know you can't? Just recently, I was at a restaurant there, and because I pay attention to this stuff, you know what I mean. I saw one of the older homies from one of the teams. They didn't smoke. We know they ain't got no money right now. Well, they got a little bit. But like, I saw about whole deal. So they're recruiting a young dude. I see he's with, I don't know if it's an aunt or a mom, but this works. So this dude is in the meeting with, it looks like his mom.
Yeah.
You know, or guardian. Yeah. And these homies, there's 4 of them.
The sharks.
And then I'm with my girl and I'm telling her, because I don't know how to mind my own business. I'm like, you see what's going on here? And then I see them walk out and they don't even have a car. So it's like they're just walking around. Do they know what they just walked into?
No. That is why, Kere, we have to educate.
Yeah.
About the business of the game.
Yeah.
You understand? Most of the time, we're getting screwed over things that we already know, but we don't know how to address them or to say them.
Yeah.
So you have to bring in somebody who knows the business, and if you are lucky, you'll find somebody who cares, genuinely cares for you.
And that's hard
so
enough.
as you navigate in your career, you need to find the right people. People that can add value in your life, people that are loyal, people that want to see you go somewhere. It's always easier with your
immediate family.
With your immediate family.
Yeah.
But there are agents out there that are good people. You know, I'm not going to say all agents are bad.
Yeah.
But how can a guy in Botswana who has not done a deal anywhere, who has never been in football administration anywhere in the world, tell you that he's going to negotiate a deal for you?
Yes.
I want it to make sense.
It's similar to like even the music business, because we don't have even entertainment lawyers here.
Where do I start, dude?
Yeah.
Who's going to listen to me? Good radio station and to get your stuff on rotation.
Even the language. Yeah.
Yes.
There's people by what are trained and stuff. And that's what I realized when I started doing TV and film. You can get certain things done when you speak the actual language of the trade that you're in. So football for sure
has its own
language. And if you don't respect that thing, you're gonna get walked over.
Rolled over, bruh.
So why don't you open a sports agency?
I was going to. When I was retired, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I was going to partner with Siavuma Sports Agency. I got here. I was at GU. I organized my testimonial. You know, GU versus Platinum Stars and my former teammates versus the media team.
Yeah.
That was to expose these guys to PSL. I don't know if before my game we had regular teams coming here or us playing these guys.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I did that when I retired.
Yeah.
Platinum Stars signed a guy from Zimbabwe, from BDF actually. I remember they were supposed to, Zebras was supposed to play Platinum Stars because I'd offered. I said, no, I'll organize the national team for you guys. On the day, Butler's like, no, we are a national team. We can't play at UB Stadium. I said, Coach, what do you mean UB Stadium?
What are you talking about?
It's bad? What do you mean? These guys train on gravel.
Hey.
Only when they are with you, they train at UB. But they train on gravel every day. That's all they know. UB Stadium, even if the grass might not be the best, it's better than where
it's better than gravel. It's better where guys are from.
So that game was called off, so we had to replace it with BDF. The BDF guys called. No, I was like, okay, fine. So I organized that game for them.
Yeah.
They signed a player there. So that relationship, because I wanted to bring Platinum Stars here to open the door so these guys can scout other guys.
Yeah.
I don't have to be the one doing the deal.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. At least there's a bridge.
Yeah.
There's that synergy because
there's a
I really
conversation
wanted to bring
on.
these guys here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening many, many years later, but I started out doing that.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you don't understand that line of business, it becomes very difficult. You get rolled over on it. So these young players need to learn. They need to read. That's why it's important to stay in school. I believe that we can still do what we are good at, as in talent, art and music, with education.
Yeah.
There is no excuse.
No doubt. I'm going to get into the contracts and when you're a young person and like any talented person, so you really don't know how much it's worth until someone just offers you money. You know what I mean? Right now, is it better to do it DIY or to get yourself some lawyers or an agent? I think that's the best way I can ask it.
Honest answer from me?
Please.
Stay in school so that you are equipped yourself. As you learn, as you progress, go schooling, you get to understand the world and get a feel of who you are, where you are. So self-development is the key to everything. Before you go to ask somebody to help you, because so it's advisable, yes, that you can get somebody who knows. But then it's up to you and the people closest to you, because it is about your interest, your best interest.
You're signing a lot of contracts right now after your playing career. So I know you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But like, just to wrap it up, you ended up at University of Pretoria before deciding to retire. What made it happen? I think as short as you can, what made you retire in 2014?
I didn't enjoy it anymore.
The training or the games or the attention?
Game, it was not my first love like before. I finally understood that there's more to life than football, because I live for football.
Yeah.
If I could, I would have killed for it.
Yeah. But do you know what, Dipsy? The thing is, like, for a lot of us who are on the outside looking in, and football is like one of those things where everyone can have an opinion, but we don't know. I mean, I've tried to play under 21 rugby more. I gave me smaller. You know what I did play some. And I gave me smaller, like my heart will be beating so hard. Adrenaline, that thing. And then it's the first run, and you're running alone, and it's you and your thoughts until a teammate calls you over, until someone is screaming at you. How does football feel for you when you're there? So you can give us a difference in how you felt in 2014 compared to how you felt in like 2004.
Being on the pitch then was the happiest moment. It was everything to me. But as we grow older, our priorities change. We want something else to live for.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate at the time. I wasn't really enjoying the club per se. I had issues with the head coach. I couldn't bite my tongue, dude. I was already old.
You knew too much.
No, I knew too much. So I we had meetings, and I said to him, "But you can't tell me when to retire."
He was telling you to retire?
No, indirectly by saying, "We want you to go and coach the Tuks Academy teams." I said, Who's saying? Who said anything about retiring?
Isn't that the stubborn nigga in you though? Because at this point in time, anyone would look at an opportunity to train tugs as that would be a nice step down.
I still felt like I was better than most of the guys in midfield in my position.
Yeah.
You know, Zungu came. I played with Zungu. Yeah. I partnered with him and Lionel Tizi. I'm sure if you call him, he'll tell you that I'm the guy.
Like, yo, these are kids. You still felt you could run with them niggas?
No, I could play. Listen.
No,
you know what's funny about it? You know what's funny about it?
Yeah.
From a tactical point, yes, I might be older. I don't have to run. I don't have to be the one doing the running.
Yeah.
I can send somebody to run for me.
Yeah.
If you already know, you are coaching. You are talking with
maybe
the other guys.
That's why he felt.
But I wasn't trying to be the coach. So, be team. I think 18. Scrimmage, start training. That should not happen.
Yeah.
So if the B team is dominating the first team, why is the first team playing? So there was an issue about who's going to be the captain. I was the assistant captain.
Yeah.
Tebogo Munyai was the club captain. I was the assistant. And then senior players like Warren Bishop was there.
Yeah.
So Tebogo Asio, I was the captain.
The armband, yeah.
Now, at the time, Butle Mkwanazi came in from Sundowns.
Yeah.
And he was playing ahead of Tebza. So that means that...
Obvious.
But now he liked Butle. He wanted to make Butle captain.
You look on Butle.
Yeah, he had played a season before. And then he came now and they signed him outright.
It's for real.
You understand? So this was my second season. I'm like, this dude. So But
what would that mean for the actual captain then when they come back?
Nah, I will keep club captain, unless you officially. How
important is the armband? Because you've won the armband a lot in your career, including go Netlan Santos.
Yeah, it's a funny.
Because Maguire you.
It's a very funny title because it doesn't hold much weight unless you make it hold weight.
Explain.
You can be chosen captain, but you can't lead the guys you're with.
So the manager needs to see the guy who's going to lead the guys.
I would think a captain is the one who's steering the ship.
What about star player?
He can do it without even wearing the armband. So the good ones that are not into petty stuff, what they would do is they'll give the guy who's going to give the most value to the group. It's about the group, It's about the group. It just happened to wear the armband for TV and all of that. But are you controlling
and walk like this?
Yeah.
This the walk.
Oh, no. So and leadership styles are different. You know, there's the quiet one. And what they do speaks for them. And then there are those that do both. And there are those that all they do is talk. But nothing. You see. So there was also that. Well, that's the only thing that made sense to me because the technical team, coaches, no, we spoke to the coach. You have to see the coach. You guys need to resolve ego thing, whatever. Because we don't win a game when you're not there. And I wasn't scoring goals. And I had more experience than most of the guys on the pitch. And I knew the refs. So I could fuck up someone.
It's just me. I'm sorry. Like Chris Paul.
Be like, hey, stop it,
Apparently that's what Chris Paul does.
And then let me go. Try do it when out of I remember the one game I was on the bench.
Yeah.
I was pissed. And the coach is and you know he has to do that also to try and bring that energy and reassure us that he's got
well
this.
With you guys in there
you last because straight referee they were from Mvela. Had to give that colored boy was referee.
It's McLeod. I said.
No, he's a recent. He runs a business for a school teacher. He must give that guy a red card. He talks too much. I know he was always talking shit about you. And he looked at me like, yeah, I agree with him from Vela. Give that guy a red card. And the coach was there. Later on, I used to go about. But you see, it's about influence. when you're at that level, you play with the crowd. You play with your teammates. You inspire them. You give them the assurance. And you threaten your opponent. You impose yourself on the opponent. That's how you have to be a showman.
What about some of our captains right now? What do you think about some of the captains that you see across the league? Because not that I didn't know until you told me. Because I'm thinking about the greatest captains that I've seen on international stages. They do exactly that, you know.
No, they
impose their will. They intimidate. Sometimes they like Vieira and Roy Keane.
They hated me at 5-a-side. They hate me. When I have the ball, so I must move away for you to get the ball.
And we need to shut this down. This is probably the longest one that we've had. But not right now, though. I got to ask you about your endorsement deals. We've been talking about a lot of contract signing. We went under some endorsement thing and more some other time. I lost my cool. Got dropped. But yeah, you know how to keep your cool. Like you give me calls on the side. And then you actually laughed at me.
I guess we all got dropped. So it's not there anymore.
Welcome to the drop zone. So you have a cool head on your shoulders because but also you know how to negotiate because I told you how much I was charging per post. This nigga damn near laughed at me. And he was also angry at the same time. It's like, why would I charge that? I didn't know pricing. I think it's all charges to perform. I get 30 minutes.
It's about taking an interest and trying to learn the market and understand. Listen, social media.
Let's talk about NDB. I mean, that's huge. Congratulations.
It's not there anymore.
Hi, Dipsy.
So, this is Botswana.
Yeah, but it was amicable.
For me, that I thought it was an opportunity for us to tell a story of a young Botswana. You understand? I can't do giving free land.
When your name pops up.
Yeah, when your name pops up. Okay, you're not given free land. Your mom and your dad probably have land. In Almasi market. When they pass,
ideally, my dad better not watch this. So, wait, Mitzi.
But you understand where I'm getting
completely.
To? We have land, but we don't know where to get financing for our projects.
We're selling it now because of that.
I might not want to do the traditional farming like our folks used to do. More about 2.5 Now maybe you want to build a comfortable home and maybe even move and actually live there. Remember, parents holiday weekend what if you are that generation that has this land and you need financing and you're going to live there and you're going to feed Botswana? Get a horticulture at the 9 billion.
We're going to feed ourselves, really.
We have to feed ourselves.
We realized that after COVID that this was a really big thing.
It's an opportunity.
Ukraine amazing, all of this is happening. So is this what you guys were going for? Did you go there with this proposal or did you guys link up with similar minds?
Actually, I was there as a model for ads. And
they told you're pretty and stuff.
I wish I was as pretty as you.
No, I'm the prettiest dog. Hey.
I know these light-skinned guys.
Hey. So
we actually shot it twice, I think. So the idea, the guy who was doing it, shout out to Mutusi, he's the one who fought for me to be the model. And I guess the hook was that, listen, this guy is going to play this role. But the add-on is that people are going to look at it because it's Dipsy.
It's him, yeah.
So that's my value. I'm recognizable. My name is synonymous with football and with
excellence, my nigga.
It's an easy say. Oh,
yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Excellence.
Thank you.
No doubt.
So you see with that, that's where the value comes in. And as a country, we have failed to profile these people. I'm not alone. There's many people in this country who have done really well.
God willing, we'll get all of them on this podcast because I think that's what we went for. That's what we're going for as well.
You understand? So if we had these people, it's an easy sell for us here first. And then we grow them to a level where they can go internationally. You want to tell me, if you think of business or entrepreneurship or whatever, so I would naturally think, or if I'm in that line of work, I would want to learn from these people.
Yes. Yeah.
You understand?
For real.
I want to associate myself with you.
Yeah.
So that you can reach many other people.
Yeah.
You
Collaboration.
And recognizing what excellence is all about. If we lead with excellence, dude, it doesn't matter. We don't have to be friends. Dude, if you're a badass, you're a badass.
Yeah. Respect. It's the job.
Why hell would you get where we are? Why would you get a model from South Africa to come and advertise bartender?
Because you're a hater.
How are you?
No, because you're a fucking hater. It's like that's the only reason I can think of you leaving here. And right now we're talking about like even the permit situations and where people are not even allowing our people to go perform in our countries and even work there. We're here now, we're ignoring brilliance.
Yeah.
There's so many people that
we have to change this, and we have to talk about it openly. I mean, we don't have to attack anyone. We don't have to attack.
No, I love South Africa, but I just love Botswana more. And there's really nothing.
We have only one country.
Botswana.
You can't go anywhere else.
Where the hell am I gonna go? You know, and that's what
we must create our own. We must value our own.
Upscale our own as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because there's good about a meeting after being railroaded. You know, someone once said, someone said something very interesting some years ago. I took it like a G.
No doubt.
So I bafana babo. You understand? And I'm like, should it really be like that? Like, if we're going to play football, okay, I gotta
go home, nigga. What?
I gotta go home. Should I walk home?
What do you want me to do? I gotta go home.
So now we get it. Okay, so what do we change? Do we change how we do things?
Our mindsets.
Yes.
I'm not trying to get you involved in anything, by the way.
It'll be nice, though. It'll be a nice gig, though. It'll be a nice gig.
Yo, I don't have the gig. I'm just saying.
It'll be a nice gig. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got to change our mindsets to this thing.
We can't afford to pay good salaries for football or for sport. Then we have to put in money to change the infrastructure around sport. So how's now Jima Botswana how tapa Wapalma kum Gimota at least we take spraying and so sharp is that the only time they'll respect you? Because a lot of people are quite okay with us retiring into poverty or us calling you understand? And it shouldn't be like that. If I was someone in your life before and you see where I'm heading and you're not going to do something about it, then
you just diss me. You know, like every time we have these conversations, Socks always pops up in my head when Socks Molanta, when he was doing his campaign for public office. The first time that he tried to do it. And it was like, they made him a laughingstock. You know what I mean? And when you think about what this dude, the moments that this dude gave us in us as a collective, as a whole country, what he was able to do inside that national stadium reverberated all the way to the upper hills of Botswana, all across Botswana, across the world. And this is how we repay a person like that. By making him a laughingstock.
But in politics, they'll tell you, this is politics.
That's what they're saying about it, yeah.
You understand? So we need to, but the arts, but sport, we need to sit down and say, dude, enough is enough. If nobody is going to advocate for the advancement of sport and the arts, then we might as well do it ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, Dipsy, we can spend here like all day, my nigga. You know what I mean? How was the AFCON? Because I think you niggas went there to defend.
Dude, nobody went there to defend.
I was at the fan parks. I was running the fan park, orange.
It was crazy.
Hey, I was hyping. Special. I didn't even have a voice. Every single time I'd be hyping. But then when you guys got on, I just didn't think like the game plan was to score. I don't know if it was like, let's feel these people out. So I don't know.
No, but those guys were better than us, though. So I was suspended for the first game.
Yes, you were suspended for the first game. But Bani Maplanka usually says, we don't know how we got there. But that's why we can't repeat it.
Okay, it
was mainly like a
2-2. But I think it was always going to come at some point because I left. I was the only one flying in. Then Gino also came. He was flying in. And
okay, the other day.
No, that's his thing.
I guess
no, it's true.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
So the number of guys who are getting exposed at a higher level in Antioquia. So by the 2012 team, we had about 8 pros.
Yeah.
Like real pros, not a pro in Botswana.
Zambia was in Pirates at the time, I think.
Yeah.
As well. I don't know if Jomo was at Bay United.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
like
like
Platinum Stars.
It was
a duo thing. They both went to South Africa to Platinum Stars at the same time. So we had guys who had exposure, who had trained at high levels, high institutions, played in World Cup stadiums. They understand the field, they understand the pressure and the smell of the game. Remember I told you can
it's different up there.
You can influence the referee.
So they know that level.
Crowd. Yes.
They can frustrate you.
Yes, and they can understand if somebody's trying to intimidate you. Then you're like, please.
He's trying to throw me off my game.
Like, please. You understand? So we had these guys. And I'll tell you this, though. The first game, that qualification at 2012 was in Tunisia. It was during the World Cup. Now I was in Joburg 3 weeks before camp game here. I was in Joburg, Libo Paja, my friends,
Shout out Tribe.
I haven't officially met Gavin. We just spoke on the phone. Let me call to say I'm in town, I can have coffee with him. I call him. I call him. He's like, Gav, I'm in town. Can we meet for coffee? It's like, what coffee? I'm like, what's wrong, coach? He's like, you are not coming for training at 7:30 tomorrow morning. We are starting training tomorrow. You better be there. I'm like, I didn't know. It's like, whose fault is it? Is it mine or is it yours? I want you at training tomorrow morning. I had to call my pro sport guys. Hey, guys, I need boots and sneakers.
Yeah, gotta get to training.
Tights. Get up. I was like, hey, man. So next day I was at training.
Shout out Super Sport, man. Gavin Hunt is one of my favorite coaches of all time.
So at that level, you understand what is at stake. Now your living depends on the game. So you have to take care of the game for you to live.
Definitely.
You have to give your life to it. So we had those players. So Hariko Panago Airport. Now it's like no one tell you alone Brazil. He calls me Blanco, by the way. So Blanco is that guy who played for Mexico.
I know the show one thing.
Number 10. Hey, Blanco. We left Busio. Because why? I could obvious now was about to plane ticket. It's a Pagela reconnect there. So they drove a bus for the whole night to make it to the airport. So you get, hey, now you need to allow me drenda like that. So we laugh about it.
Why they gotta do us like that?
So, and we need to change that. So he's like, Maroskawa. If you've met Joel, you'd understand.
Was he at Bloemfontein Celtic? Where was he at the time?
Yeah, he was at Celtic.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, I think it's before I asked Celtic.
Hey, okay.
Then he joined Celtic. He's like, Skawar, Rahu qualify. I stopped. This is me walking away now. The other guys are stopping. What do you mean? He's like, no, we had a meeting. We're going to qualify. What makes you think this time is going to be different?
Yeah.
Abare, we want to leave something. This is probably the last time we are doing this as a group, this group.
Wait, that's when we were going to Tunisia?
Yeah.
That's when, like, there was a ball that was hit back, and then I think it was Malam who passed it, and then Jomo was the one who scored that final goal, or what? Was that Morocco or what?
Not that one.
Hey.
No, when we were going to Tunisia for the qualifier, we beat Tunisia for the first time in our entire history. We came back here to win another game. In my head, in my heart, I said, what is going on? This is happening.
Jesus.
This is happening. Are we ready? No, I used to ask those guys. If you don't learn from this, I've said it in the team meetings. I've said it in front of those BFA.
If you don't learn from this,
we don't learn from this. This country is fucked for life. Because that everything came together. These guys were focused, dude.
Yeah.
They wanted this thing. That's why nobody can stop you. But you see, your first experience is always the most difficult when you get there to such a major tournament. We had never been there. Coach Ten had never been there. How do you mix and match the players? Because you're playing a match every third day. So after a match, there's regeneration, I guess. Physical.
Or Millie.
Yeah.
Muscles.
The ones that play the most minutes.
I don't think you guys are machines.
The ones that play the most minutes, they have to rest.
They
have to...
Cold baths and stuff. Do you guys do cold baths?
Ice bath, yeah. And then the ones that didn't play, you have to train them to at least somewhere close to the ones that played, so that when you meet before the next match, you are almost at the same level.
So you have options for the coach.
Yes. So, Rona, but and I don't blame them. It's part of knowing and learning exposure. So if they stayed on longer, then maybe they would have had a different feel and a different approach.
Yeah. My goodness, Bob. We're talking when you're going to keep me here. This podcast is going to be 6 hours. I want to get into some controversy here, sir, because you were on social media accused of all kinds of things. Next thing we know, you win a defamation lawsuit. I don't know what happened and how did you deal with it, because there was a social media, I think it was a petition. They were talking about you. There was a bunch of young ladies who were coming out, and you know how social media catches on. It then becomes a whole thing, and the next thing, fast forward, there's a case, and it just trickles down, and come to find out there was nothing really there. So I don't know, in your own words, like, what happened?
We use Facebook and, let me just say, social media loosely, because we always think we can get away with it.
Yeah.
Okay, here it might be difficult to track somebody or to find out who's this person who's bullying you, who's saying all of these things, these negative things about you, all these bad things about you. Nah, it's a little bit challenging here.
Yeah.
But in advanced world, they can check your IP. They will know who you are. You understand?
So now this is keyboard warriors.
Yeah, they're just keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
So it's always, we have to take a stand at some point.
Yeah.
I'm easy pickings.
Yeah.
I get abused all the time.
Yeah.
Even about football. The GM Fest, I was playing for Joining Masters. Bole I hit that siding. Some lady say, Dipsy. That's the kind of abuse that we live
every
with.
day. I know exactly.
But at some point when things are said about you that are not true, you have to stand your ground. You have to defend yourself. So even when I play now socially, these guys want to bully me. They think I'm going to be quiet.
People think you're soft.
The high road.
I think people think you're soft because you're not one.
No,
because like you don't speak much, but like now I know, like you're a hard dude. You know what I mean? Yeah,
no, I'm human.
Yeah,
you know.
But what made you take the decision at least at that moment? Because like we suffer abuse all the time. Anyone who's in the you are on a different pedestal, but I suffer abuse too. And sometimes I don't even read comments. I mean, even the team here knows. You know, just the other day we're in the group chat and I was about to go beat some people. But like,
Yeah,
you know, I'm an
Wastra.
investment now.
Wastra.
And niggas are like, and they really believed I was going to do it. They're like, no. So what made you go the legal route?
No, I
Was it
didn't even go through the legal route.
Yeah.
My wife was like, no, you need to take a stand. She was very supportive, and she said, you know, you must tell your story if you have to. But this
out of order.
Now I was going to ignore it because it didn't mean anything. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like that guy was saying somebody said. But you can't go onto a national platform and say, you understand?
Yeah.
You must go there and say it, and you can be able to say it in court and say, Ska, you did this. But it was not the case.
Like I
So
say.
I was like, okay, I made that statement. I didn't want to. I was advised to. Because because it's not true. If anything is said about me that I've done, police or ang address
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But when you put it on social media, I always ask myself, what do you think you
To
are?
what end?
You are achieving with this? Yes, people can wrong you, but you don't run to Facebook. How ngolo tanga ga Facebook again? Ke a address us.
Nna ke go irela ngoma ha gong. Mara ke khona ne ke iretse fishing tuele. Abanzaga. But I'm just playing though, like on the real. No, I did make that song for him. He knows.
Yeah.
He laughs about it all the time. But Abanzaga, I think we're gonna move on more to, I guess, to life after football. The Diphetogo Selolwane Football Academy. You know, you did mention when COVID did affect you in a bad way.
Yeah.
Are you getting what you wanted from these academies ever since you set up your academy? I follow your academy a lot. I also follow Yaga Kenneth Dambe, who's I don't know what position, video analyst.
Yeah.
For the Mares, you know, our national soccer team. He used to do it for Kaizer Chiefs as well. So I like that because like he's a development guy. You know what the hell you're doing. So are you making money or are you doing it for passion?
Okay.
Yeah, you making money. Why am I asking it like that?
Because that has to be standard. But this is Botswana. You understand?
Yeah, man.
I believe I have all this knowledge. I would love to share it with the whole country as I've been. Somebody who knows my history and where I come from. They would genuinely know who I am and what I stand for. Everywhere I went, I took someone from Botswana.
Definitely.
So obviously, I'm not a jealous nigga.
Yeah. That I can never
blame.
I will never.
I'm not a jealous nigga.
Yeah.
Your thing is your thing. My
thing is my thing. Yeah.
So.
And you're quick to advise also. Like, I just really appreciate that about you a lot.
I also needed that when I was young.
When you were coming up also.
I think my projection would have been different.
Yeah. So, but experience also helps. I mean, because like you have like, you know, Foster Giuliano once talked about, you know, he actually learned how to navigate his way around like even airports, like keeping his head up because he was thrown in the deep end and had to travel as well. So I think maybe it was important for you to experience these things.
Yeah, so I could
on
share
your own, and so you can
so
share.
I share. If you want to listen, you listen. If you think I'm talking crap, that's up to you.
That's up to you. Yeah,
you know, it's your life. But my business model is that I to coach at development level because you're not really making money. You're not winning money. You're not winning prizes. At that level, it's not about winning. The winning is seeing a kid come. Because
there are no friends in the neighborhood. I know that's a lot of the current situation. You can't go next door. The electric gate, no one gives you the key.
Remote. Yeah. So you find a kid who doesn't know how to play, and then you see him 2-3 months later, he can trap, he can semi-pass the ball, you know. Can hit him in the face, and he gets up. He's like, for me, that is the joy.
You know, I'm gonna come to one of the training sessions. Dipsy, we are running out of time, Papa.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, and I know Marang is gonna be mad at me for putting this at the end. Love life, because in Temogomaso, Raibona, we aspire for it. Marang Lene is one of the people that is ultimately gonna get on the podcast as well because she does amazing things on her own as well. How is married life, sir?
It's been great.
How many years deep? Because I should have started with this conversation, but yeah, we saved the best for last. Hey.
No, it's been great. I really can't complain about it. I think being with somebody who's your friend is your greatest peace.
Yeah.
You know, we are similar in many things.
Yeah.
Yet we are different.
Yeah.
She's a soft one, I guess. And I'm a hard one, I guess.
Yes, we saw the tackles during your days.
And we fight about it all the time. But we always have common ground. She has taught me a lot, even about myself. I remember I was bitching about something when we first met. And she asked me she said, who says they owe you that?
It's like a reality check that you didn't know you needed. You know, who do you think you are for them to owe you that? It's like, yeah.
You know, and I think she said it knowing it would hurt me, but it would free me of my weight. Because I had a lot of resentment.
Towards that particular issue,
Yes, and a lot of other things that I had to deal with. And getting married at that time for me, or being in that kind of relationship was a big plus, because I don't think I would have had things in check if I didn't have somebody supportive, somebody who didn't put me under pressure to be who I wasn't, or who was always demanding things when my world is already so demanding on its own. And I feel like a kid who just left high school and he doesn't know if he can go to college, or he can go and work.
Options just popped up out of nowhere.
You don't know where to go. So
wow,
it's been good for me.
Awesome stuff. I think that was going to be my next question. Or do you think it's? I mean, what is the best part of marriage for you, though? I have to ask it. The hardest part.
The moments when the phone is away, the TV is off, and I can just be. You know, and I can see that she's cool with that.
We're cool.
Like I don't have to do shit. I feel my life has been a fight. My life has been a fight. I fought for everything. Everything. But at some point, I needed to breathe.
Yeah. For real.
I needed to breathe. So I'm at that point now.
Peace.
There's nothing I want more than peace.
Like, I need a peace, but I'm gonna give our team some peace and stop this. But like, I don't know how to stop this show, because like people want to know so much from you. So we're definitely gonna have to have a part 2, you know. And this time we will bring some brown liquor.
when Caesar asked, we must do.
And you didn't waste any time. You came through. I absolutely appreciate that. I have a gang of questions that's here for you, big homie, but I gotta shut it down. But before I shut it down, the oldest daughter, Ro, I see her on social media throwing buckets. Is she a shooting guard? What is she trying to do? She's playing ball. She's in the US now doing her thing. You know, what are we seeing here, Mren? Mona, she can shoot, though.
No, she started with my academy, obviously. She was a girl child, and I had
she was playing soccer too?
Yeah, she was goalkeeper. And I thought she was really coming up okay, and she used to say, why are you always hard on me? I was like, yeah, because I'm your dad. You know. But one day,
you got bought. I think she did it for you first. Basketball.
Yes. So one day, I'm so tired. So
and she knew that was gonna piss you off.
She thought I would be pissed, but I wasn't. I was like, okay, no problem, Arvai. So we went, and then she watched, and she was just a team mascot. And then, because I'd go and watch her play run, she was playing other sports. I watched her play netball. Dude. I thought she was amazing.
That's why you wanted her to be a goalie. The skills are here.
She was amazing. And I tried to talk to her about netball. She's like, nope.
I want a ball. I want to shoot this thing.
So basketball is a passion.
Yeah.
So that's what she does.
And the endurance with that as well. Like I'm seeing like the form, the skills, you know what I mean?
No, she trains very hard.
Hey, she trains really, really hard. And like it's always really, really dope to see because, basketball shooters shoot.
Yeah.
So she's not afraid to let that thing go.
Hands.
You know what I mean?
Hands, yeah.
Layup, all, she's amazing. So picking one. Let's go with like our Brazil pick but big homie, love you absolutely. Blind, and I thank you very, very much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
And that's been your PODI-CAST, man. I'm all talked out, and it's been amazing. Dipsy was in the house. Shout out, stay well. That's where we at in Mauritania. Shout out, bartender as well. It's always, just lubricate ourselves here just a little bit. And we'll see you guys next time. We outie local corner. Peace. We're seeing Bo Limco. They have these courses, and we have street dudes. You know what I mean? Are we living in separate worlds here? And also, I think maybe because I never know who to ask these questions. And then we have government departments that have people who do events themselves too. What are we doing?